Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing a Forge control deck. So why is it called Forge? Because we got Urabrask Forge in it. And why is it called Control? Because we are loaded up with a ton of control spells. Between keeping people from doing things quickly to wiping the board, we are packing it all. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned. Find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host. And you know, in Magic Cards, just like weightlifting, I don't think that sudden uncontrollable urination should disqualify you. Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Yes, thank you.
Film before a live studio audience.
Thank you so much. Yukon SuckIt. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck of my own creation called Forge Control. Forge Control. Why? Because, as I said, we got Urabrask Forge, that's the key card to this deck, and Control because we got a bunch of control in here. I woke up thinking about it this morning, dreaming, thinking, something like that. And this is what I ended up with. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got? We got, let's start off the control with a 1-drop. Creatures your opponent's control enter tapped, so it means they're not attacking on the first turn. And whenever a creature an opponent control enters, you gain 1 life. So that's life gain. So this just ruins the tempo for your opponent, disables the ability for haste to work, and you gain life. So it is just an incredibly nasty card that just ruins your opponent's game. It just puts them just behind the curve. Destroy any creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. Get rid of any creature or opponent. This one draws you cards, and this one will draw you a card. If you get up to Delirium, then when this card attacks, then you have another attack phase after the current combat phase. We got Annex Sentry, which exiles stuff and has toxic. This is a card draw. This one puts out a Forgeling every turn that is 1 power greater than it was the turn before. And if you mix it together with Fear of Missing Out, then you get a whole nother combat with another token going on it, which means another strong guy, which means you're attacking with 2 guys in 1 turn, which is fantastic. Brotherhood End will wipe out all artifacts of 3 or less. You got to be worried about Urabrask Forge, though. Or just do 3 damage to each creature or planeswalker. The deal is this guy keeps coming back every turn. You can wipe the board willy-nilly. So, yeah, that's what we're looking to do. Speaking about wiping the board, Day of Judgment. Day of Judgment. And lastly, we've got Full Throttle. Now, Full Throttle is an incredibly great card to combo with Urabrask Forge. Reason why is because it says after this main phase, there are 2 additional combat phases. And so then they all get to untap and attack again, your creatures do. Which means you get 3 combat phases. Which means that on the first turn, you put out an Urabrask Forgeling, let's just say for 2. And then on the second one, you put out a second one, which is a 3. So now you're attacking for 5, which means you're going to get through 7 points of damage total. And then you have another turn, so you're going to put another guy out, which will be a 4. So now you're doing 7 plus 4 is 11. Plus 7. So that's like 18, something like that. 18 points of damage in 1 turn. I'm not sure. That's like math, and math is for nerds. All right, and what do we got over here? We've got a bunch of dual lands and Mycosynth Gardens, which can make copies of Urabrask Forge. Because the more Urabrask Forges you have out, the better everything will work. And all the duplications will work with all the copies of Urabrask Forge, which means a tremendous amount of damage was being had by all. All right, so that's it. That's the deck. What are we going to do? We're going to control the board, and we're going to try to get out an Urabrask Forge by using our card draw to try to find them. And then we're going to duplicate things like crazy with our combo cards. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Shouldered, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. Our plan against Sanshuro. Keep. Turn on lights, make the moths go away. It's funny, they don't go after the candles, do they? What do moths do with candles? Alright, Judgment Day is going to be great. I can't do Ossification because I don't have a basic land. Got to build up to 4, but we didn't get land on that drop, so we got a long way to go. The only thing we do next turn really is this. Hopefully we can pick up another basic land. Jeez, people. Basic land. There's only one of them. But at least when he pumps them with prowess, that's one less multiplier on the stack there. So I'm trying to think, what do I do? If I put out an anal sentry, I can pin down one and then block the other. The problem is that then eventually, if I try to Day of Judgment it, I'll release one, and that would be bad. So then I'd have to hang around and wait until he kills my anal sentry. Or I guess put out FOMO block for the... Yeah, I got exactly what I need to do what I need to do. So let's just put out FOMO for a little bit of defense, and then we'll wipe the board in a second. Ooh, we have lots of those sentries, don't we? Guess that's for after the Day of Judgment. That's the thing about mono red decks. If you wipe out their creatures, then they can't do anything. And the question is that he have more creatures? I think the answer is no, he does not. He's wasting his cards on my creatures. There we go. This is going to be glorious on the next turn. I am shocked, but apparently the magic gods wanted me to wipe the board with as much efficiency as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your token, because if you kill the sentry, you can get your manifold mouse back, and that's not right. You give him double strike, yeah, you could pump him. I'm going to block, I don't care. All right, this is taking a long time. I mean, apparently you got something in your hand you really like. Dude, you're going to be able to do it anyway. It doesn't matter. That was just a waste. All right, let's go see if we can find something better here. Sacrifice a card. There we go. Urabrask Forge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough mana, but look, another one we can do a full throttle, and that is a glorious thing with Urabrask Forge. Yep, come at me, non-mouse loving nothing. Express your dominance right there. Mana. All right, so the future I see at this point is just keep blocking with the Annex Sentry. There we go. I'm gonna have to do Judgment it. It's okay, I'll only do 1 point of damage to it. You can kill the Annex Sentry if you want. That's gonna be great, because then I could do... I'll point it out for you. There you go. Gone! And this is horrible for you. Oh, it's the worst. All right, we win next turn. I'm fairly certain. Starting off, it's going to be 3, then 4, then 5. Yeah, here we go. I hope he'll just let this thing play out. There's 3. And then there's 4. And here's 5. And we win! Winner, winner! Victory dinner! All right, we're playing against Newmonic, the MTGA. All right, we got Urabrask Forge, which is great. This is guy playing Simic. Simic is usually creatures, so that'd be good against Authority of the Consuls. All right, number 2. Do I care about this guy? Plotting. Let's just kill it. Gotta start playing like a control player. Gotta pin things down before I start pushing my aggression. You got to be able to protect it? Is that what you're gonna do? Alright, gone. I don't know why he did that. He wanted to draw a card? That's probably what it was. That makes me think about the Devils. I used to love those guys. Burn down the house. Oh, I love that card so much. Seems like he's big in the plotting. That turn that guy off, he seems very muted. Good. No counter spells, jerkwad. I'm not going to... If he just does... Say, what does he have there? He's got green and blue. The question is he going to take out... If I would have done him, would that have done anything? Just 1 point of damage. I'm worried about losing this guy and then giving him back his guy. I shouldn't be so worried, but, you know, when you're playing control, you got to worry about how you're going to control stuff. Ooh, he plotted. He plotted, everyone. Let's discard a card. There we go. That's going to be beautiful in a second. All right, fine. We'll go after this guy. Boink. Ooh, up to the full 4 and fear of missing out. That is fantastic. He's got a lot of mana. Hopefully he doesn't do anything crazy. He's just drawing more. Good for us. All right. One, two, three. Choose attackers. That would be everyone. Let's send you over that way. That should be enough. Everybody else in for the gold. We're going to double up on this guy. And let's start it all up again. Beautiful time. That's a lot of deaths, but we're okay with it. They're like Mycosynths. That's what they are. Urabrask Forge is a Mycosynth generator. To a forgeling, existence is pain. And we win. Boom, boom. Goes the room. All right, we're playing against Margle 2019. Let's keep it. We got a nice Urabrask Forge right there. Get these guys out first. Nothing happens until round 3. All right, number 2. Where are we at here? Okay, and let's get out of Urabrask Forge. You can bounce me there, buddy. Oh, he's just going straight for my face. All right, hopefully with this big old butt, we will keep her alive past those lightning strikes. This guy's smoking me with all his tricksiness, though. That's not great. Thank you. That's actually very nice of you to do. Let's try to get him again this way. Got another one. When are you going to bounce back? Both of it? Nope. All right, there we go. Suck it, suckerfish. Suck it. All right, we're playing against Trax McKenzie. All right, we've got one card for looking for stuff and a little bit of control. This deck can do a good job with control. It just doesn't have a lot of greatness when it comes to going at people's throats. Ooh, man, that just bites when I just get more demand answers out of the deal. I'm looking for something in particular. Let's do what a plane. Let's do creature planeswalker. It's fine. Get lost have a little bit more utility, so I'll try to keep a hold of them for the moment. Is he going Boros tokens on me? Yep, Heir Apparent. Okay, Day of Judgment's gonna be fantastic. Oh, that is not great. I want to keep getting stuff. I mean, 4 is enough for this deck generally. 6 for full throttle, so 6 mana is not bad. Yeah, he's going. I'm gonna have to Day of Judgment this guy at some point. Probably this turn would be a good one to do it. He doesn't have many cards. I can hold on the rest of it. All right, so he's going to have more errors, apparently. Let's try it again. You can raise the past, I can burn the future. Not enough mana to make another one, so we're just going to have to live with what we got. Wait till next turn, and then we can make another Urabrask Forge. You got mana. You can destroy all creatures. You're just giving up at this point, huh? 1, 2, 3. Put another one of these out, as I can. Alright, and we're good. I got a long way to climb to kill this guy, though. He's giving up. Oh, we were getting to full-on Urabrask Forge land. I'm going to play against Yago, the Virtuous. I don't think I had Virtuous down for mine. Nope. What are we doing here? Don't be whistling at me. I will FOMO it. I mean, it's not going to do anything. Ever get us a card, potentially. Alright. Authority of the Consuls. Great card. Smoink. Even if he has the ability to take care of the Annex Sentry, at least that's a turn. He doesn't get to do what he wants to do with the monument. Is it worth the mana? Yeah, let's do the Authority first. And then we'll put it down Urabrask Forge. Got to get FOMO up to 4. Whereas Delirium, our problem is that we're just not very delirious. Question, should I kill Korea? Is that what I should do? All right, we got 3, and we win. And we win! It was that simple. Victory! All right, playing against Slartibartfast. I think that's my friend. My friend Slarty. All right, let's keep that from happening. The mouse is too squeaky. That's exactly the kind of card my friend Slarty would like. Let's cancel that. Let's just nip that in the bud. Well, apparently he wants to put out creatures. Ah. It's only 1 on the FOMO. Be great if I get 6 mana for a full throttle. And Pound Town. All right, we win. And we win. Victory. All right, so we are with Forge Control. It was a very interesting deck. It didn't turn out as good as I'd hoped for. The big reason why is because there's just not a lot of aggro here. It's all into Urabrask Forge. We think, oh, it's no problem. We have the ability to go search for cards between Seize the Spoil, Demand Answers, FOMO. We'll find it. The answer is that no, the Shuffler hides Urabrask Forges like crazy. It is really hard to find those things. And I just didn't want to invest more of the deck in filtering through my cards looking for the card I'm looking for. But it'd be nice if it had a little bit more beef to it. Annex Sentry might not be the right choice. It's great. It's great for defense, but I kind of want some offense. And maybe that's just my fault because I'm an aggro player and I like to go crazy. FOMO is a good offensive or defensive person that has offensive abilities, but he also gets killed pretty easily as well. The one thing I keep thinking would be probably better for this deck would maybe be slip a man land in here somewhere just so that you can play man lands if you need to. With control, that usually ends up being a really good thing. Anyways, it was good enough as it was. So let's get to it. All right, who is the MVP? Who was the most valuable player of this deck? The most valuable player of the deck, as I was going to say, is Urabrask Forge, because that was the whole point of it. It was just to be able to get Urabrask Forge out, so that Urabrask Forge does what Urabrask Forge does, and we just kind of control the board around it. It is the center of this deck, and without it, the deck doesn't really work. So, yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Urabrask Forge. If I seemed a little trepidatious, I'm going to give a a backup vote to Authority of the Consuls. Authority of the Consuls, it seems like it's a nothing card, but it is such an incredible card. Like, there are times I just give up as soon as I see somebody draw it, because I'm playing tokens or I'm playing like hasty guys. This just short circuits everything. And even when you're not, there's so much life you gain from this, and there's so much time you gain from this card. Authority of the Consuls, to me, just feels god awful when you're playing against it. You mix it together with your deck, and it's fantastic. So I was about to give it to this as my MVP, but he's just a runner-up right here. Urabrask Forge, number 1. Authority of the Consuls, number 2. All right, let's see. Was this deck competitive? Okay, so when I played casual, yeah, I got a 73% win rate. Sure, great. That makes it into a competitive deck, as far as what I'm saying. And when I say competitive, I don't mean you're going to win on the ladder or anything like that. What I mean is, when you play this deck, how often should you expect to play it when you're just playing it casually? Yeah, it's a deck that wins, and that's a great thing. So this is a competitive deck. When I played it on the ladder, no, I did not do very well on the ladder. It might have just been the randomness of the things I was doing, the way that the shuffler went out of its way to hide certain cards from me. Bad luck, essentially. I don't know. It was not very good on the ladder. But the deck is a good deck. It's a fast deck. It's got its combos. It's the things going on. There's plenty of mana. In fact, there's probably too much mana in here. So I don't know. It should have been a thing. I'm going to chalk up the ladder to bad luck more than anything else. So yes, this is a competitive deck from my qualification of what a deck, competitive means. Number 2, was this deck fun to play? Yes, it was fun to play. It was a little bit on the slow side. At least we have a 1 drop, and there's plenty of 2s. There's plenty of things to do for 2. It's just that it's all card draw and control. Putting FOMO out on the second turn, it's fine. It's just that you're not going to get FOMO's full ability for quite a long time. So he's just a dude that does a little bit of card draw as well. You got plenty of cards to go through, and you really want to, because you want to make your way to an Urabrask Forge. So yeah, I think this is a fun deck. It's got a nice curve to it. It's all relatively early. It acts like it's going aggro. But the problem is, what you're doing early game isn't aggro attacking. It's trying to set up for the later game or controlling the board. So it is definitely not an aggro deck, despite the fact that it's got an aggro curve to it. All right, but it is a fun deck to play. Super fun. All right, lastly, was this deck interesting? Yeah, I think so. Why was it interesting? Because it's not something you see being played otherwise. Full Throttle was fantastic. You could probably choke this back to 2. I mean, 3 says, yeah, within the game, I want to pull it out at least once. I find myself throwing this deck away. The problem is I have to spend too much money with the red. Too much. I have to discard cards to be able to do it. And I was throwing away Full Throttles just because what's the chances I'm going to get up to 6 mana? Turns out it was really good I was going to get up to 6 mana. But the way I was getting to 6 mana was by discarding cards. And if I didn't discard Full Throttle, I wouldn't be able to get the mana to pay for Third Throttle. So it was kind of a bad situation. But when you can pull off Urabrask Forge and Full Throttle at the same time, oh man, that is such a great thing to occur. So yeah, this is a combo deck between Urabrask Forge and FOMO and Full Throttle. Yeah, any of those double turn things with an Urabrask Forge is incredibly cool. But fragile. But fragile is the way to put it. All right, so yes, it was an interesting deck. So let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was this deck interesting? Yes. All right, so that makes it into an A+ deck. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I would highly recommend you pick one up, should you have the means. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.